Hello everyone. Now let us try to see how to solve a given quadratic equation in three methods. There are three usual methods to solve given quadratic equation. The first one is quadratic formula. This is most commonly students are applying it, and this is straightforward process. And the second one is factoring. This is also commonly used. And the last one is completing the square method. This one is a bit complicated process, and mostly students are not entertaining it. So let us see each of them and how to apply the process. Let us see it. Okay, so to apply quadratic formula, we need to identify the A's, the B's, and the C's. How does quadratic formula works? Let us see it. First of all, if we have a quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is a general form of quadratic equation. The formula that we are going to use will be x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, the whole in the square root over 2a. This is the formula that we are going to use to solve a given quadratic equation. So if anybody knows the formula, if anybody recalls this formula, you can solve any quadratic equation, and it will be clear whether a given quadratic equation has one root or two real root or no root even will be decided by the formula. So for the given function, let's use the first formula. The function is x squared minus 3x plus 10. Here it is, plus 3x minus 10. Okay, it has correct sign. Plus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay, this is it. So for this quadratic equation, first let's identify what's a. A means the coefficient of x squared. There is no number in front of x, which is 1. If there is no number, we will take it as 1. And the b is equal to 3, and c is equal to negative 10. The c is the constant. Then when you apply the formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, the whole over 2a. We said it already. So this is equal to x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus the square root of b square means 3 square, which is 9, minus 4 times 1, it is 4. 4 times again negative 10 will be negative 40. So this will be plus 40, because negative times negative will be positive. Then the whole over 2a means just a is 1, so it will be 2 only. Therefore x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 49 over 2, which is negative 3 plus or minus 7 over 2. Therefore the value of x will be negative 3 plus 7 will be 4 over 2, which is 2. This is one of the answer. We can take the plus, or the other answer, x is equal to, we'll take the negative. Negative 3 minus 7 will be negative 10 over 2, which will be negative 5. So these are the two answers. Using formula, we have got the two solutions for the given quadratic equation. The second method that we are asked is factoring. So still the function, the quadratic function, no change. X squared plus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. Then still we need to identify what's a here, 1, b 3, and c negative 10. Then factoring rule says, let us think of two numbers. The product of the numbers must be AC. AC means we'll multiply 1 times negative 10, which will be negative 10. And the sum of the two numbers has to be the middle term, which is b. b means which is equal to 3. So when you think of two numbers, when you multiply these two numbers, negative 10, when you add them, 3 means these numbers are 5 and negative 2. If you multiply these two numbers, it will be negative 10. When you add them, it will be negative 3. So these two numbers will be substituted in place of the middle term. The middle term, it was 3x. So that let us use it. This number 3x will be substituted by 5 and negative 2x. For each of them, give them xx. Then substitute. Okay, let's do it. So it will be x squared plus 5x minus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. The middle term, that was 3x, is substituted by 5x minus 2x. Then the group the two terms together, the first two terms together and the second two terms together. Then take out common for these, the first two. The common will be x, so it will be x plus 5 left in the bracket. Here the common is negative 2, so what left? X plus 5 left, still is equal to 0. Let us continue factorizing. Then take out common again for this one, and for this one common, it will be x plus 5 common. The bracket is common for both. For both, the bracket is common. So what remains here? X minus 2 remain is equal to 0. Then what does this mean? This means x plus 5 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0, because the product of two, okay, two expression, the product of two expression 0 means necessarily either of the two has to be 0 mathematically. That means x is equal to negative 5 or x is equal to 2, because when you shift this one to the other side, this one when you shift the other side, the positive become negative and the negative become positive. So the two answers will be, it has to be the same as like that of the answer of the formula. We can cross check negative 5 and 2 in the formula also. The answer, the final answer was 2 and negative 5, the same result. Okay, now we have left one last method, that is the third one. The third one is completing the square method. Completing the square method. Okay, still the function is not changed. The function is x squared plus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. In case of completing the square method, what to do? The first step, shift the constant term to the other side. So it will be x squared plus 3x is equal to 10. Then what? Then try to be sure the coefficient of x squared is 1 here. If it's not 1 here, if there is a number here, we need to divide each of them by that number. For example, if there is a number 3 here, I will divide by 3 each of them. But unfortunately here there is no number, so we no need to divide by anything. Simply what to do, the middle term here, it is 3. It is 3x, so the middle term here, it is 3. Okay, let's adjust it again. So the middle term is 3. So take 3 and divide it by 2, then square it. This will be added both sides. Both sides will be added. Then it's going to be, let us see how does it looks. X squared plus 3x plus 3 over 2 square is equal to 10 plus 9 over 4. Both sides will be added. This means 9 over 4. I'm adding both sides. Then what? This one is the same as x plus 3 over 2 the whole square. You can check it. If you square this one, it will give you this one. Anyways, if here a plus, you will take here plus. Okay. If this one minus, this will be minus. So directly, okay, so here plus plus, which is equal to, when you add the two, it will be 49 over 4. You can add and check it. by crisscross or whatever method you can use. Then put both sides in square root, because our objective is to get x. When you put both sides in the square root, this outcome will be x plus 3 over 2 is equal to, this one is plus or minus 7 over 2. Then we need to shift this one to the other side, so the x will be plus or minus 7 over 2. Okay, x will be plus or minus 7 over 2 minus 3 over 2. It was positive here. When you shift it, it will be negative. Then what? Then x is equal to 7 minus 3 will be, because the denominator are the same, directly we are going to add 7 minus 3 will be 4 over 2, which is 2. One answer. Or the other answer, x is equal to, or x is equal to, the other one, negative 7 minus 3 will be negative 10 over 2, which will be negative 5. So we have got the same result. So this one is somehow longer process, and mostly it's not used by the student. Students mostly are using formula, and the second one, factoring method. These two are mostly applicable, but I don't mean like completing the square method is not necessarily. It's really helpful. Completing the square method is the one which prove the formula even. So these are the 3 methods of solving a given quadratic equation. That's it. Thank you.